Hello everybody. So today we'll be talking about normal newborn. So this session of pediatric audiobooks we are starting where we will be fragmenting entire pediatric and in the form of audio clips. So each of the audio clips will be around 5 to 10 minutes. Max to max it may be 15 minutes to cover the entire pediatrics in a fragmented way. So without further ado, today's topic let's focus on that is normal newborn. So whenever we say newborn, so newborn means the period is the first 4 weeks after birth. Okay. So whenever a baby is born, we measure the birth weight. So we generally consider the 2.5 kg is what is actually normal, and below 2.5 kg is what is low birth weight LBW. अगर वो 1.5 kg से भी कम है, that is what is VLBW or very low birth weight. If it is less than 1 kg, then we consider it to be extremely low birth weight baby. Okay? And if it is more than 4 kg, that is basically seen in case of a baby, the infant who is born to a diabetic mother, is what is your big baby or macrosomia. So generally this birth weight is plotted against the gestational week in the chart. That is what is a percentile chart, that is called as intrauterine growth chart. सो ये जो इंट्रायूटराइन ग्रोथ चार्ट है, इसका वाई एक्सिस में वी आर प्लॉटिंग द बर्थ वेट एंड एक्स एक्सिस में वी आर प्लॉटिंग द वीक्स ऑफ जेस्टेशन. ठीक है. सो दिस ग्राफ इज हैविंग टू परसेंटाइल कर्व्स. वन इज योर 10th percentile, another is your 90th percentile. So when we plot the birth weight and this comes below 10th percentile is what is making a diagnosis of small for gestational age. ठीक है. Or if this point is going above 90th percentile, that is large for gestational age. And if it is ranging in between, that is between 10th to 90th, that is what is average for gestational age. So first focusing on the small for gestational age for 2 minutes only. ठीक है. So the small for gestational age में the normal variant are always there, that is what is constitutional variant, that is more common. Okay. After that, you have the abnormal variant, that is IUGR, that is the growth restriction, intrauterine growth restriction. So in that case, what we do, we actually assess the ponderal index, that is given by a formula, that is weight by length cube into 100. So we generally put the weight in grams and length in centimeters, so it comes gram per semi cube into 100. If this ponderal index is less than 2, then we say it is an asymmetric IUGR. What is this asymmetric IUGR? Generally, in asymmetric IUGR, what happens? The growth restriction is not symmetric. That means the restriction of the growth generally seen in the body parts and the limbs only, the trunk and the limbs. But the brain is paired. Why? Because in the late trimester, like second trimester or third trimester, if there is any maternal cause, this maternal cause generally like uteroplacental insufficiency, so there will be reduced blood supply to the growing fetus. So because of that, because of the inherent mechanism, what happens, this whatever blood is being supplied to the fetus, maximum of that will be directed to the vital organ development only, that is towards the brain. So the brain is spared. That's why the brain sparing effect is seen here. So brain तो normally grow करेगा, लेकिन at the cost of other organs. That's why this is what is asymmetric IUGR. In the other way, if I think, what is the symmetric IUGR? Symmetrical IUGR means there is proportional decrease in the or restriction in the growth. So brain, upper limb, lower limb, the trunk, the body, everything is actually restricted. That is what is symmetrical, and this will be obviously common in early trimester because of the fetal cause like genetic defects or any kind of anomalies are there that lead to overall restriction of the growth. There is no brain sparing effect. So if there is maternal cause, that generally lead to the asymmetric one. If it is a fetal cause, that is what is symmetrical IUGR. Next, coming to the large for gestational age. In the large for gestational age, also we will be having constitutional variant and the infant of diabetic mother. We have two syndromes which are associated with LGA, large for gestational age. One is your Soter's syndrome, that is basically called as cerebral gigantism. Another is your Beckwith-Wiedemann syndrome. The famous one, that is Beckwith-Wiedemann syndrome, is something where the baby will be having hemi-hypertrophy of limbs, kind of hypertrophy of one side of the limb will be hypertrophied, associated macroglossia, and there will be anterior abdominal defects like omphalocele or umbilical hernia can be associated. In Soter's syndrome, that is basically cerebral gigantism, so that is seen along with intellectual disabilities, delayed development, and premature tooth eruptions. Once we discuss this thing, then we have to assess the maturity of the child in terms of scale. So that we can do after the birth of the baby, that is postnatal assessment. So for the postnatal assessment, we have one scoring system, that is what is known as ENBS, Expanded New Ballard Score. This expanded New Ballard Score is taking two criteria in account for measurement of or assessment of the maturity. One is your physical maturity, another is your neuromuscular maturity. So this is a very big scoring system which we don't need to know, but few points regarding this Ballard score that we need to know. Number one, it measures the physical maturity as well as neuromuscular maturity. Number two, the total score range is from -10 to +50, and the accuracy rate is ±7 days. And the range of gestation that we can actually apply if the baby born between 20 weeks to 44 weeks, okay, in this period agar baby is born, so we can actually assess the maturity with the accuracy rate of ±1 week.